So I'm in Landro right now, and I'm just going to give you a very quick overview, and then we have a quick guide of all the things I'm talking about that we can give you so you can go to a manual and read the details. I would suggest playing with Landro after we give you this overview. And we're going to do that after our break in probably about 15 or 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and play. And I want you to play first, and then I'll teach a little bit more. Okay. This is called the home screen. It's where your Landro videos are located. And it's like looking at a folder in your, let's say, document folder. But we have default folders where as soon as you boot up Landro and launch it, it goes to your folder, so you're not going browsing for your folder all the time like you have to do in Windows. You don't have to go to your documents or your video folder. This is your video folder, so as soon as you come up, that's your video folder. No, not yet. We'll do that later. I want to show you all the things. So that shows your folder. Up in the top, we have a few places with pull-down menus. If you click this button, this is a pull-down tab. It will show you the different folders in your Landro. And this bottom section is where you set up the folders. And this is an important part. We're now looking at what we call the Landro video folder. And we can set up different folders here. You can see right here, there's a Landro video folder. I can edit that location and say, let's give that a name. We're calling it Landro Videos. And let's find out where that is on our Windows. And we happen to have it under My Documents, but here it is right here, Landro Videos. And so I'm saying that's my default folder. So I don't have to look for it all the time like you do in Windows. And so once you do, you select it, the Landro Videos, and then from this list here, I have several other folders I look at frequently. But this Landro Video folder is the one you want to be at all the time. So you'll set that folder up when we come back and make sure you know how to do that. So I'm in the Landro Video folder now, so I click on it, and so it will show up here. So I go here and I'll say, let me go to my Landro Videos, and there they are. There's 2 videos in there only. And so now I'm not looking all the time. It just goes right there. So that's what that tab does. This is a sorter. This allows you to sort the videos by name, like what you call the name, or by date, or by category. Typically, it's going to be always by name, alphabetically listed, so that you can find it easier. And then this is a group. You won't be using this. This is more advanced. Dr. Marino will probably be doing this later next semester, probably not this semester. And this is called a multi-select. And what that means is exactly what it sounds like. I can multi-select my videos. So let's say you had 5 videos from your first classroom session or your first recording session to your 5th recording session. You can say, let's multi-select. I want to see all those recordings. So you click on each one of them, all 5 of them, and you can make an analysis of all 5, showing what you did at the beginning and now what you look like at maybe 10 weeks into your program on here. I'm going to open this up to one of my other directories so I can get some more examples. And I'm going to go down here now and just click on something here so I can show you something. So if I click on something, the preview will show up on this right side. So I'm saying, okay, there's the video session 1, counseling 607, Mark and Stephanie, and it will preview here. And the only purpose is that is to say, hey, yep, that's the right one. It's a thumbnail, but it's actually video playing right there. If I double click on it, it'll go to full screen. So just like you expect with Windows or iPads or anything like that, if you double click on it again, it'll go back to where it was. Or the escape button. The escape button in Windows is always what? Remember what it is? Back. It goes back to where it was. So if I double click on this and I say, whoa, now how do I get back to where I was? You can push escape and get back there. And so the back button is typically the escape button. At the very top of the screen, you'll see this home icon. Of course, that's the home screen we're on right now. So if I am here, let's say we're watching this video, and I double click on that again. and well, let's push escape. I'm not at the right place. So if I click on, I need to get back, okay. So if I click on the home screen from any other screen I go to, it'll go right back to the video folder that's yours. Okay, right below the video monitor now is what we call the analysis center. This is what makes it a process to study yourself. These are the tags that you will create on the video. So as you watch a video, you'll be clicking and tagging the video saying, hey, that is a good example of empathy. And you'll tag it and give it a name, empathy. And you'll keep watching the video, and you'll watch, and then you get another one. Hey, this is a great one of developing rapport. And when you give it a name, we automatically index that in the analysis center, as you see right here. You can see this particular video I'm looking at is sort of like the index of a book. In the index of a book, it shows you what important things are significant in that book that you may be interested in. So you go to the index, and it will tell you on page 13 and 14 we have empathy. And so you can go to page 13 and 14 and see empathy. But in a book, you have to actually flip the book and go to those pages. With us, we say, here are two examples of attentive gestures. We just go right to them. So if you say, click on them, we have what's called a wizard. When you see that menu pop up, those are in computer terms called wizards. They walk you through what you need to do instead of you saying, what do I do now? Do you remember ever doing that? You're playing with software and say, I don't know what do I do next? Well, if you click on that, it tells you the things you can do next. And in this example, you see there's 4 things you can do. If I were you, I would be playing with every one of those saying, I want to see what they all do. You don't even have to read a manual for that because it will walk you through what it does. And you see that. It says 2 attentive gestures. Let's view the selected play segments. Well, that's the most important thing. So when I click on that, I'm actually now going to, I'm just going to pause it for a second. I'm actually seeing those segments of that example and that theme. Just those 2. And at the bottom of that screen, you'll see how I've cataloged. This is attentive gestures, and it's also the behaviors, hostility, eye contact, and that's segment 1 of 2. There's 2 of those examples. And so they'll play like that. I can use this as the VCR controls. I have the audio down, but you would hear the audio. And I have my pause button. I can even go in slow motion. So if I'm going here, I can go in slow motion. And sometimes it's really good to go in slow motion because you can see the hands movement, see in frustration, see eyes and features changing slightly, and you can go back into your normal mode and play it. And then here are controls to jump back. This is what we call, you see that back button? When you highlight over with your button, you'll see it says back, and this one says forward. Well, we call that adaptive replay. We go back 1 second. So if we were listening to this, and I'll show you this after when we come back and we're playing with the computers ourselves, but it'll jump back 1 second, and it'll play it over again. It's adaptive replay, so it keeps on going back. So as I'm watching the video, I can say, let me hear that again, boom. Let me hear it again, boom. So that you can get that aha moment and say, oh boy, let me see how I was phrasing that word again. So we'll back up and go back 1 second. And then the next, this is a tag button right here. I can actually quickly tag that, say, hey, I like that, and you can actually tag that video right there. This, you probably won't use much in your training, but this is a snapshot saying, I want that facial expression, so I can take a snapshot of it, and I can save that snapshot and print it out on a printer or anything like that, or I can take a series of them. This is sports folks like this a lot. Here's a series of, in the next 1 second, I can say, let me see 9 shots. So you can actually study the movements of them running or jumping or anything like that. In speech pathology, they want to see the face movement, the head nods, and things like that. So that's a way we can take the pictures of that. Of course, here's my audio button right here. I can turn the audio up and down right here or mute it for privacy right there. So again, these are all self-explanatory. You just play with them and do it. If you want to go full screen, and get rid of all the controls. That's for advanced users, so that you can use gestures like you do on an iPad with your mouse or your pad on your keyboard. Your manual has all that. I'm not going to teach you all those tricks of advanced right now. It's bad enough just starting off with basics. But if you go full screen, you're going to say, well, how do I navigate here? Well, your manual will have all that in it. You can click buttons and shortcuts on the keyboard and things like that. So I'd review that so you can get good at that. And you don't have to have that panel then. So if I click my home screen, I go back to home. And there we go. It's that simple. So these are the really important things. You can see from right here, I have all the power to study anything I want. Let's go to a couple of these pull-down menus right here. Here's one on behavior. Okay. Okay, I'll have another 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to go. Yes? Whatever you do. Yeah, you could say it's a 3-second clip, it's a 5-minute clip, a 10-minute clip. We'll show you that when you come back, how we tag and do those things. But you're just, you can tag any segment, any length you want. And so now that I have these are tags I created. There's 6 of these on disrespect. Wow, that would be good. I'd like to take a look at those. So you click that, and I can view them. And also, I can put them in a presentation card for my instructor. To say, I want to talk about this with my instructor. So I'm going to say, let's put them in my cart. And you see there's 6 examples I put in. Here's my cart. It's like Amazon.com, but for Landro. You're just putting things in your cart. Say, okay, I like that. I need to talk about this indifference problem right here with my instructor. So I want to put those in my cart. So now those are my carts. So let's go to the cart one time. And you can see I have 8 clips I put in the cart, and I can review them here. And it will play the video over and over again as I highlight just that clip. So I can see it over and over without rewinding, fast forwarding. It'll just play it, loop it. It loops over and over again. And so I can take a look at it and say, I like that one. That one's not so great, so I'm going to just remove that one. I don't need to talk about that one. This one's not that great of an example, so I'm going to remove that. And I like to move this to the top, and I'll talk to my instructor about that one. That's my big problem. So I'll move that to the top. It's like creating a video PowerPoint without all the work. A video PowerPoint would take you an hour or so to do something like this. Here you can do it in just seconds. So now I have it. I want to save this example for, let's say, empathy. That's my empathy problem right there. And so I saved it. Now if I remove all these, they're all gone. Then when I come back in and want to show it to my instructor, I can click on my empathy presentation card, and boom, they're back. And now we can review those privately or on my laptop when I come in and get critiqued. So that's a favorite one. And for training purposes, instructors like this one a lot, and you might like it as well, but let's say these are my great examples, and I'd like to take those with me so I can have a portfolio when I graduate of things I've done, how I've improved. Here's my examples of developing rapport and empathy and all that. So this is my great examples throughout the whole semester, because I have that multi-select. Throughout the whole semester, I click, 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 click all my recordings, and I say, here's my ones on empathy. I'm going to pick the best. So I have the best, and I'm going to share this. And I'm going to share it by creating a brand new video, and I'm going to call this brand new video Empathy. One of great examples. Or anything, well, great example. So when I push OK, it's going to take, if you had 10 videos in there, 10 hours, it's going to look at all 10 videos and extract those best pieces out of it, and watch how fast it does it. Done. Now, if you were doing that with DVDs, videotape, that would take hours. Going through 10 hours of video and putting it back in here. Look at where I think it puts it at the bottom here. Called it empathy. Let's see where I put it. Because I have so many on here. Well, it should be alphabetically, I guess. I forgot to look where it saved it. Well, I won't look for it right now because I don't know where I saved it. I forgot to look. But it will be a program called Empathy there with all those clips extracted, and you can take that and save it onto a flash drive because it'll be in your Landro video folder, or anything you want, and take it with you if your school allows that to be done. But if you have releases, I'm sure they would do something like that. So that's the general overview of everything. It's very simple to navigate around. But the last few things that we'll just chat about right now, and then we're going to come back and play with them. This gear button is the universal symbol now for tools and preferences. So if you click that, it shows you how to change things and set things up on Landro. One of the things you're going to get frustrated with real quick is there's a little clip of me introducing you. You can get rid of that, and it's under Landro options. And we have voices that talk to you saying what it's doing. It's nice for about the first hour. It tells you that it's recording, it's playing back, and it's doing things like that. And here's where you can turn on the voice and turn off the voices, and you'll see that when we come back as well. And other tools that we're going to talk about, the catalog file, when we come back. These are where we create a catalog of choices. So you don't have to type and tag things when you type, like empathy and reflecting feeling and reflecting meaning. We don't want you to type because you're getting out of that, you're going into left brain anal retentive mode, and you're starting to type where you should be watching the video. So you just use it from a pull down list and say empathy and click empathy, and it just puts it in there. And so this is where we create that catalog of choices so that you don't have to type. And we're going to show you that when we come back.